You wouldn't believe the day I had that summer in Willow Creek, just outside Austin. There I was, standing on my front porch with my old hound Buster growling low beside me, watching this woman I'll call Brenda stomp up my driveway like she owned the whole damn county. Phone glued to her ear as she barked into it. 911? Yeah, send the cops, quick. There's a squatter on my son's land refusing to budge. He's distressing the whole neighborhood. And get this. She was glaring right at me, the guy who'd owned that ranch for over a decade, inherited fair and square from my granddad who taught me everything about sweat, soil, and standing your ground. It hit me then. This wasn't just a nosy neighbor gone rogue. This was a full-on siege, and my quiet life was about to turn into a battlefield. It all kicked off a few months back when I packed up my city job early and moved full-time to the ranch, a sprawling 50 acres of rolling hills, creaky barns, and that wraparound porch where I'd sip coffee at dawn, watching the sun paint the fields gold. Granddad had carved it out back in the 80s, opting out of the local HOA before it even got its claws in, because he knew those folks loved rules more than rain in a drought. Peaceful as a Sunday morning, until Brenda rolled in with her 30-year-old son Derek, this guy who couldn't tell a shovel from a smartphone, and suddenly my fence lines were encroaching, my old windmill an eyesore, and my rooster crowing too early for her delicate ears. Hell, I caught Derek sneaking onto my pond one day, rod in hand like it was public property, and when I politely asked him to scram, Brenda came charging down the road, waving some HOA badge like a sheriff's star, snapping, "We're the association here, and your compliance is overdue. Expect a review." I kept my cool, showed her the surveys proving my land was exempt, but her eyes just narrowed like a hawk spotting prey, muttering, "We'll see about that." And I could feel the storm brewing, that mix of entitlement and envy, because maybe she saw in my ranch what her boy could never build on his own, a real legacy, not some pipe dream subdivision. Things simmered at first, her complaints piling up like junk mail, dust from my gravel path triggering her allergies, my vegetable patch unapproved landscaping. But it turned ugly when I found Derek rummaging in my tool shed, claiming he was just curious. So I slapped up cameras everywhere, figuring better safe than sorry. And damn if that didn't pay off the day Brenda planted herself at my gate, dialing emergency like I was some intruder, her voice dripping venom as she told the dispatcher, "Hurry! My son's a hard-working vet ready to develop this into eco-homes for the community. This guy's a holdout, a disturbance." A vet? Derek? The kid who'd never worn a uniform in his life. But there she was, spinning tales while I stood firm, fists clenched, thinking about Granddad's words. Land ain't just dirt, Jack. It's who you are. When the deputies pulled up, lights flashing, I thought it'd sort quick. I handed over deeds, tax stubs, that ancient opt-out letter, but Brenda shoved in, jabbing a finger at the taller cop, yelling, "Don't buy his lies, evict him now. My Derek deserves this." And then Derek lunged, fist flying wild, clipping the radio instead of the officer, who twisted him down in seconds, cuffs clicking like a punctuation mark on their nonsense. But as they hauled him off, Brenda's scream echoed, "You'll regret this! HOA's filing an injunction by week's end." That arrest lit the fuse. Next day, a slick letter slid under my gate from the HOA board, all formal about boundary reviews and compliance fines. And I just shook my head, muttering, "These folks are unhinged," before marching to the county clerk's office where old Mr. Harlan, yeah, shares my last name, small world, flipped through records and chuckled. "Your granddad locked this down tight, son. No HOA touch on Harlan Ranch." Armed with certified copies, I felt a spark of fight, especially when my high school buddy Sarah, now a reporter for the local station, messaged about Brenda's online rants. This could be gold. Mind if I swing by? We filmed it all. Docks, fences, even that fake badge she'd tossed on my porch one night caught crystal clear on cam. The piece aired. Neighbors started whispering apologies. "We bought her story, thought you were the outsider." But Brenda? She ramped up, posting HOA blasts about dangerous holdouts blocking progress, rallying votes to swallow my land whole. And that's when the real dirt hit. Tire tracks ripping my garden, hoses slashed, gate left wide letting my sheep wander. Messages in the mud, but I filed reports, showed footage, and the sheriff warned, "They're gunning for rezoning. If they win, you're sunk." Her motives? Clear as day now. Brenda wasn't just pushy. She'd lost her own home years back to some bad deal, whispered around town, and saw my ranch as redemption for Derek, this aimless kid she babied into thinking the world owed him prime real estate. Jealousy twisted with that HOA power trip, turning her into a one-woman crusade. But she crossed lines when she rolled up with a rental truck, visor on like a drill sergeant, waving papers and hollering, "Vacate by Sunday. Derek's moving in. Board approved." I laughed outright. "You kidding? This is my home." And she spat back, "Parasite like you doesn't deserve it. Enjoy your last nights." That night, alarms blared at 2 a.m. Lights flooding the yard, catching Derek belly crawling with a crowbar at my well pump. Sabotage plain as day. Deputies dragged him sopping from a ditch, Brenda in her robe shrieking, "He was fixing a leak! Urgent!" But they cuffed him anyway, and I sat up till dawn, heart pounding, realizing this war was draining me, testing that quiet resolve Granddad instilled, making me question if holding on was worth the scars. The pettiness peaked with a zoning letter threatening eminent domain, Brenda's long game, pulling strings with bribes and fake witnesses claiming I'd threatened folks, and dead quail dumped in my yard, home trashed with leave now gouged in my table, Buster locked shaking in the shed. Fury boiled over, not fear, because who'd hurt a dog? Inner storm raging, I called Sarah for another story, footage of Buster's whimpers breaking hearts online, animal lovers flooding the sheriff with calls, my tale going national as the Ranch Siege. Support poured in. A retired lawyer from Dallas, Elena, messaged, "This sets precedents. Let's sue for harassment." We built the case, exposing Brenda's bully tactics on neighbors too, like fining one for wrong flowers or towing another's car over a phantom rule. But she fought dirty, filing emotional distress claims, alleging Buster menaced her, even running Derek for HOA prez to redraw lines and annex my road. That's when I flipped the script, gathered anonymous stories in an online folder, Willow Creek truths, views exploding as folks spoke out, and just as Brenda's rally hyped her vision, someone torched hay in my barn, flames licking close till sprinklers saved it. Footage nailed Derek again, arson charges looming. She showed at my gate that night, envelope in hand, voice cracking, "Stop humiliating us. Sell quiet, it's over market." I shot back through the speaker, "Buy elsewhere. Your mess." Her scream pierced the dark as she hurled it, but the tide turned. Restraining orders slapped on, her flyers labeling me threat, yanked down, board ousting her in a tense vote where she wailed, "Ungrateful fools! You'll regret!" Climax hit like thunder. Brenda smashed through my gate in a U-Haul, Derek charging with a sledgehammer, splintering barn doors, yelling maniacally as he bashed beams in my truck. "Ours now, squatter!" I filmed live, hit the state panic button, sirens wailing as troopers swarmed, cuffing Derek mid-swing while Brenda ranted, "He's the criminal, my boy's an innovator." Cameras rolled, her meltdown viral. "You'll all see." County killed the rezoning, granted my ranch eternal HOA immunity, Derek fined heavy with probation, Brenda vanishing quiet-like, neighbors rebuilding my gate with apologies and pies. In the end, as I rebuilt stronger, new locks, reinforced walls, I sat on that porch at dusk, Buster's head in my lap, reflecting how one woman's warped greed nearly stole my roots. But fighting smart, with truth and community, turned me from lone rancher to quiet hero. Yet it leaves you wondering, doesn't it? How many silent battles rage in neighborhoods everywhere? HOAs twisting power. Folks like Brenda blurring lines between right and entitlement. What do you think? Was justice served, or does this expose deeper cracks in how we share spaces? Drop a comment below, share your own HOA horror, or if you'd fight like I did, let's talk. Because stories like this, they hit home for all of us.